Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Tuesday. Today is July 7th, 2026, and right now it's 6:30 a.m. And I spent the last couple of hours just going over my gains from yesterday. And what's great about doing this every morning for me is that really sets my heart for the day, my mindset for the day, and the spirit of just living a strong life every single day. So starting my day off with what my gains were. What did I accomplish yesterday? What did I learn yesterday? And what happened yesterday that improved who I am and empowered me so that I can wake up today knowing that I expanded, I improved, I grew. And so it's very exciting. And if you're following along with me, you know that I take these ideas from The Gap and the Gain, a book that was written by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. Dr. Benjamin Hardy is, organizational psychologist. So there's a psychology behind and a mindset behind how one thinks when it comes to the gap and the gain. And of course, very quickly, the gap is that space between where you are right now at this any given moment to your ideal place you want to go to. All right, so there's this goal, this ideal. You're striving, working hard toward this ideal, the goal, right? The big picture. You have a vision, and you envision yourself, and you have the picture of what you hope to become. That's the ideal, and then where you are right now. And then there's that space where you have you know that you have all this that you got to do, you got to work towards, and those are goals, and that's great. That you know where you're going, and that's important. However, focusing on the gain is where you start, where you were, like for example, where I was yesterday morning to where I am this morning. Stuff happened, okay? Whether I got the results that I wanted or the lesson that I needed, people that I met, all gains. So every morning I start out looking at, okay, what did I gain yesterday? And so I want to go through what I did. It's going to be a little bit involved because there was a lot happened yesterday that just empowered me. And so I want to go to my notes and share with you guys there. Let's jump right into it. All right, some daily gains for yesterday, July 6th. Okay, and the first number one thing I want to go through this because this was massive, and it's really setting me up for the work that I'm going to do today, so I can go toward my ideal. Amazing. So the number one thing that I put on the top here was I strengthened the performing arts community vision, and this was huge. And this was probably my biggest gain. And I continued refining what the performing arts community is becoming. And I had a conversation with Renee, and we were talking yesterday about what she does with artists and what we're going to do with the artists and performing arts and how she coaches, mentors, and it had me thinking about artist development and what Motown did and what Philly International Records did. And our goal is to teach performing artists, regardless of what part of the industry they're going into. Doesn't matter. And whether dancers, singers, actors, musicians, recording artists, rappers, even people that are artists that use the visuals, doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You're a performing artist, you're an artist, and you are aspiring to generate money, earn revenue, be a professional that's actually earning money from your craft, from your art, from your performance. And so that's what our community is about, and it's all about artist development. And I was like a big aha moment when I spoke to Renee and she shared some of the things we were doing. I kept thinking about Motown and Philly International Records and how what they did with their artists. And I did some research here. I went to Google, and Berry Gordy, what he did with the music. Everyone knows Motown and what they did, and many of you guys already know that Motown had a way of taking artists and developing them so that they had this performance level. And I love what Maxine what Maxine Powell, who actually did the finishing school here, Maxine Powell here, and transforming these artists into sophisticated performers that were suitable for high-end venues like the Copacabana, or traveling to Europe and meeting, royalty. And so she had to prepare. And there was a great quote that she had here where she says some of those artists were coming from projects and they were using their street language where they spoke in the street. And she says some of them were just rude and crude. They couldn't send these people to the royalty or to the Copacabana. They had to develop them. They had talent, they had potential, but yet they were not ready for the opportunities. They were not prepared for these opportunities that Berry Gordy and Motown had envisioned. And so I said, oh my gosh, that's what that's what Renee's been doing with her artists. And the same thing with Philly International Records. They did the same thing. Kenny Gamble, Leon Huff looked to Motown as a model of what they were going to do with their artists, and they did the same thing. Okay, and they worked with artists, and there were intense rehearsals. I know I had the opportunity to work at I say PIR, but Philly International Records, right before they stopped really working it. I was in the later years, and I worked with Dexter Wanzel. I was part of his team looking for artists that we would bring in and develop. And so my job was basically to listen to all these demo tapes, and there were thousands of demo tapes. That was my job, just listen. And Kenny Gamble told me, and Dexter told me exactly what to look for, and I got really good at it because some of these demo tapes that I got, they were tapes or cassette tapes. Back in the day, cassette tapes, very few CDs, but cassette tapes. And I had to listen, and Kenny taught me and Dexter taught me how to know what to look for within 3 to 7 seconds. I could play it, I knew right away. I could even look at a package of what they sent and knew right away whether it was something that was right for Philly, for the Philly sound. And if we got someone, and I suggested someone, they would bring them in. Then they would have a meeting, they being Kenny Gamble and the team, Dexter, Leon, and whomever, maybe some of the other writers, Charlie Sims or Bruce Hawes, whoever was in-house at the time. And they would say, okay, yeah, let's bring the artists in. And if they liked it, they would work with them. They would record stuff. They would get music together with the writers, or if the artist was the writer, they would work on it. They would record it. Then once they had something, had recording, blah, 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 they had all the whole music package. Then they had to develop this artist so that when they created these opportunities for them to perform, then they were ready. They were developed. They were able to do what they needed to do in a way that really highlighted the art and the artist and the record label and the music and the album and the whole package. And there was a whole development phase. And Renee had an opportunity to work with Bruce Hawes and develop some artists there, and she definitely shared that with you. But anyway, this was huge for me. And I realized that, oh my gosh, that's what we do. We develop artists. And so performing arts community really is about that. And that for me it really, really helped me narrow in, okay, what do we do? When an artist comes into our community, what will they get? Development. And so one of the first things we're going to do, Renee and I are going to do as we build this out, we're going to have our first live event online, and it's going to be about artist development. And Renee and I are going to be doing that, and we'll go there on the school platform. When you go to the school platform, you'll see that we have here now artist development. And our first one, and you see it's coming soon, our first one is going to be on right now, July 22nd at 12 p.m. right here. So when you go to our community, you'll see it's right up here, and it's happening in 16 days. And I'm so excited about this. And it's huge. It's huge. And so that was for me huge. Big. Did I say it was huge? Anyway, moving on, that was my first thing. My second gain yesterday was I continued building Renee's role, at least in my mind, Renee's role, and just saying, oh my gosh, just letting her do what she does. And she creates these conversations. She's a mentor. She's a coach. She does whatever that needs to be done for the artists to develop them, so that when opportunities come up, they are prepared. And I remember asking Renee about, how can a performing artist get into your radar? And so my thinking with radar is that people contact Renee, whether it's agents, directors, people contact her and say, hey, look, we are looking for artists for this project, commercial, TV, doesn't matter, or, print work. And these are people Renee's worked with and she's built relationships with, as an artist and as a choreographer, as a director. They contact her. I mean, this is over the years. Renee's been doing this for a long time, her and I. And so people that she's met, Renee's great with relationships, they would contact her and say, hey, look, we're looking for this. So Renee has this radar. So the moment they say we're looking for this artist, she'll think of artists. Like she's done it for me many times. I've booked so many jobs through Renee because when somebody asked about an artist for a project, I was in her radar. And I'm her husband, but I'm also a performing artist. And when she thought of an artist, she thought of me. And I got booked as a hand model. I've made thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because Renee had me on her radar. So I had asked her about that, and I shared that yesterday, I believe, in the conversations with Renee. How does a performer get on a mentor's radar? And for example, we have Darius, one of her mentees, one of the performing artists that she's developing, and this was, I guess they were at Walnut, and I guess he was doing something at the Walnut, and they were there. And anyway, it just blew my mind. And that Renee's working, developing artists, and that's what we do at the Performing Arts. Okay, my job is to help artists understand how to be a business professional, how to take care of business. It's one thing I learned from Bruce Hawes. A lot of the performing artists that you'll be meeting, Renee today will be interviewing Brett Jolly. And this is a seasoned performer, and I can't wait for you guys to see that interview. She'll be interviewing him today. We'll get that up as soon as possible. But this is a seasoned artist. He's a bass player, a musician in the industry, has worked in it for decades, is still currently active. And over the weekend, he had a couple of gigs. So he's going to share with Renee, him as an artist, but there's a professional side of it, a business side of it that artists need to know. So anyway, that's huge. That was a big, big gain for me yesterday. This aha moment about artist development and what the work that Renee does, developing artists, and that's what we're doing in performing arts community. And also yesterday, a big gain was strengthening relationships. I had great conversations with, from my karate school with the parents and the students, with Master McGill and the other instructors, and also within the community. I had a great conversation with a couple of business owners yesterday that I'm working with on the business side of it and helping them really work and see what their gains are and how they can move forward to get more gains. That was amazing because I want to make sure that everyone knows that they're seen, they're heard, they're valued and appreciated, which is the work that I do. Living Strong Projects is all about that, from the Living Strong community that I've built and now the new performing arts community. It's about you being seen, heard, valued, and appreciated. And then if you're a performing artist, we want to develop you so that you can, if you aspire to be a professional in the industry as a creative, then we're going to help you do that. That's our job. We want to make sure you're seen, heard, valued, and appreciated. And that comes across with people actually investing in you and hiring you for your talent. So that was huge for me. Number 4, the fourth big gain for me was I took care of action karate responsibilities. And really quickly is about the business, operating a school. We have about 200 students, and I've been doing this since 1999. And now I'm helping Master McGill, who now owns and operates. So Master Donato has retired, and now I'm in there, invested in it. But my goal is just really to be present and to partner up with Master McGill to help him build the school. And so, just went through different kinds of business things, from refunds, credits, to future payment timing. It's all business stuff here, guys. That's what I do. The administrative aside, just making things easier, creating systems so they're sustainable, and we can teach that to other people. So anyway, that's the business part. Okay, I'm very much business. Okay, so anyway, I took care of that. That was a huge gain for me. Okay, and a fifth gain was encouraging other community builders. And so there are other communities. I have two communities. The Living Strong community and the performing arts community, and I'm part of a larger community that we are all together, working together. It's on the school platform, and what the creators of the school platform, there's many of us on here, millions on here. Guys, it's a huge community, and I came in very early, and so I'm excited about being part of it. And what they're doing is that the operators, the owners of this community, are investing and promoting all the other communities. And they started doing this as what they call growth boost. And I'm excited about that because I'm developing my communities, and my goal is to be prepared for opportunities when they come up. And this was an opportunity where I know that I'm preparing my community so that when people visit the community, they see, oh, wow, I understand what they're about. I know who they serve. If I come in this community, I know what I'll get and how I'll be seen, heard, valued, and appreciated, and how I can take that and grow and build myself with that. It's important. So I know I'm working because I saw that they are investing millions of dollars in advertising communities. And I saw yesterday on their Facebook ads and Instagram ads that I was on top. And so now they're doing this for all the communities, but you have to make sure that you are packaging yourself right, developing yourself in a way that they can see you as someone that should be promoted, because they want to make sure that they look good as well, right? Just like Motown, just like Philly International Records did, this is what we're going to do with our artists. When you want to be prepared for these opportunities. So I saw yesterday, scrolling through, I'm just going through my feed, making sure that my feed doesn't have any funky stuff on it, and I saw this. That told me that school has invested in this project, investing in us, and I made it on here. So that was exciting to see that, and I saw it earlier today when I went on, and I saw this, and that's my right on top, and so I'm excited about that. So that was huge for me, and so that was outstanding. So encouraging other community builders, and I went on there and I just thanked them for that, and just encouraging others. And that's what I'm doing more of. And I continue expanding Living Strong, which is what's helping me get positioned. And you'll see that on my Living Strong community. Now it's all about really giving to my community and Living Strong. So when you go to my Living Strong community, you'll see right away what that's about. There's my About page. You see I'm on phase 1 in about 20 minutes. Right as soon as I'm done with this, I'll be going live and doing today's Living Strong workout for my Project Strong. And everyone's invited to come on in for that. So that's excited, and I was very excited about that. And then supporting another gain was supporting and celebrating other people's successes. Yesterday, a good friend of mine, Shamar, had shared that he is now an ambassador. And Shamar has been doing a lot of work. We've been friends for a couple of years, and met him. Renee said we met through a project she was doing, and I don't recall, but all I know is that he has been working hard over the last several years, and just doing a lot of great stuff on film, on commercials. And so now he has been selected as one of the ambassadors for this new platform, Horizon TV. And I thought it was awesome. And so anyway, I just wanted to give him a shout out. I thought that was a major gain to see performing artists really, prepared for these opportunities and developing themselves so that when these opportunities arise, they are ready. They're ready. They're developed and they're ready for action. These people, those that developed this Horizon TV, looked for artists that are prepared and are ready so that they can use them for this opportunity. And that's what artist development is. So Shamar's been doing an amazing job. Can't wait to have him share with you guys some of the things that he's doing to develop himself. So that's amazing. So that was a huge gain for me. And then number 8 is continue refining my big picture for both of my communities. And again, communities where people feel seen, heard, valued, and appreciated. So that's what my communities are always going to be about. That's what my company, Living Strong Projects, is about, is making sure people in my community, people that I meet, my job is to make sure I see them, I hear them, I appreciate them and value them, and then help them take who they are and put it out into their worlds so that they are seen, heard, valued, and appreciated. More importantly, starting with yourself. I want all of us to value ourselves. We see ourselves, we see our gifts, our strengths. Yes, we make mistakes, but those mistakes become gains because we learn from those mistakes, and to have self-value and self-appreciation, and to really appreciate ourselves and to be empowered by who we know we are. And that's what my business is about, and that's what I'm going to do as I look forward to my future years. I'm 65. That's what I'll be doing for the rest of my life, and that's huge. So yesterday was really about not about writing posts or doing videos or anything like that. It was really about building my infrastructure and really understanding the work that I'm doing more and more every single day. So anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. So hope you guys have an amazing day. Share your gains. Start your day looking at what you accomplished, what you learned, what your gains were yesterday. And then as you proceed through your day, you could work toward your ideal, what you set and intended to accomplish in the course of your day with respect to your vision that you have for your future, your near future and your far future. Okay, guys, and vision, I teach that vision is that picture and image of what you have in your mind of what you would like to become. Anyway, that's all I got for you guys today. Share below your gains. Talk to you guys next time. Take care. Bye.